Hey everyone, my name is Jay. I'm going to be showcasing you how to use Polarity and how to test your agents. So essentially, we're going to be showcasing you how to do full EDE tests for your agents, the QA infrastructure that lies behind your AI agents, and how you can uncover all your metrics and data to understand how they're actually performing. We're going to be going through, the installation process to creating your first snapshot, to creating a spec, to seeing all your evaluations run, the scores, and then, of course, getting your metrics on time. So let's dive straight into it. Currently, just to give you a heads up, we support Python, TypeScript, and Go SDKs. So first thing you're going to do is just click sign in, and then we're going to undergo an onboarding. And now we're in the dashboard. Essentially, all you had to do was run that installation, and that's pretty much it. And now that you have, your agent in your repository, all you're gonna ask Claude to do is, take a snapshot, and also you're gonna have to feed it your API key that you got from onboarding, and that you can also access from your settings tab here. So let's go and do that. And it's gonna be now putting that inside and updating it as well. Then we're gonna ask Keystone to now take a snapshot of my agent. In this case, I particularly made an agent revolving around LinkedIn and, automating some of my posts, changing it with different tones, various different scoring features, and impressions as well. And this snapshot is essentially giving Keystone its information on your agent and wrapping it so it understands how to properly evaluate it with the specs that we're going to be creating. When it comes to creating specs as well, we have a lot of content, whether that be via our blogs or through other repositories that we've made, such as our promising spec library for, to educate people on how to create their types of specs based on their agents, the best practices, and of course, if you decide to create agents with other types of means, the best ways to do so. So now that I've uploaded now that I've taken a screenshot of my agent, I'm now going to, write a spec. And I have this one created where I'm going to be mentioning to make a spec that runs my LinkedIn agent in 10 parallel sandboxes. Theme is agent, eval failure modes, scoring each on dash rules, buzzwords, output format, and if it's on theme as well. So this is, a pretty thorough kind of explanation. You can make it as creative as you'd like. So I decided to go all out and make this as my spec. And essentially this is my instructions. This is what Keystone is going to be basing all those QA, all those agent testing and QA kind of evaluations on its performance based off this, and if it's able to do so correctly. And then it's going to provide me with the analytics. So I'm going to click enter. And once it creates the spec, all I'm going to say after is run it. And then we're going to see how well it goes, how long it takes, and then I'll show you that all towards the end of this demo video. In the meanwhile, as it's running, it's good to note that this is something that happens in the background as your engineering teams are continuously creating whatever agents they like to do or other infra tasks. This is going to be happening in the back to kind of to validate their steps and that they're taking to ensure that they're doing the right things when it comes to creating their internal tools. And now all I'm going to say is run it, and we're going to be collecting data on how this goes. And you get to see everything live here within the terminal, understanding how it's an SDK first approach. The CLI, for example, everything is here, and then you get all your data, showcased to you on the dashboard. And this data is very granular, showcasing every single trace that happens, the experiment, any tool call errors, failure to connect to tools, of course, LLM calls, the total amount of tokens used, etc. All showcased to you in a very nice and clean dashboard. When it comes to understanding what else is provided on the dashboard, it's all up to you. So for example, you can configure the types of metrics you'd like to see various different filters, of course, the different types of logs, various different integrations as well. All of this is, provided to you with different types of customizable features as well. When it comes to even creating teams, this is what we, allow for larger teams. All you have to do is generate this link invite here, and then, you share this around, and you can have people join your team as well. Alrighty, and now that we got the eval complete, we can just simply read the results and see what we had, and then, refresh the dashboard and then figure out from there as well the type of results that we received as well. So let's do that. So as we can see, 10 different traces, 5 different experiments, and there's been a total usage of 50,000 tokens used, and we see everything else, right? So this is the type of stuff that teams would like to see, and you can go into every specific trace and see what was done. And then also, of course, in the CLI itself, it'll tell you what has happened. So 8 out of the 10 passed, and the reasons why. You see that we can see that there was a redundant, kind of second run. And yeah, we can also go through here and we can see specifics. So let's do that. I can see, for example, how these traces happened all here in my experiments as well. I can see the pass rate. And I can use this as observation to understand what went wrong, feeding all this back to Claude. And I can see everything from the duration and time it took to what call was performed as well. And as you can see, Claude is now generating me my extensive report based on what Keystone's findings were, explaining that the reasons why there were 0 characters written, just because of my API key or the agent processing succeeded, for example, that there's no successions, the rate limit error, etc. Stuff like this is what your team would want to see, because you would rather have this happen in a production replica kind of sandbox rather than actually in production. But essentially, yeah, thank you so much for watching, and this was a step-by-step guide of how to use, install, and run your agents on Keystone.